is an Unspoiled Network podcast.
This is Unspoiled, covering Harry Potter, the Rereading. Book 2, Chamber of Secrets, chapters 15 and 16. Aragog and the Chamber of Secrets. Secrets. In these chapters, will her skeleton lie in the chamber forever? Spoiler, no, we've read these before. Welcome to Unspoiled. I'm still not used to not having to be mysterious with my intros because we're both spoiled now, so that's not how this needs to operate. Yeah, we are both spoiled now. We're both spoiled brats.
Oh, it's so weird.
It is weird, right?
Like at this point, I could just go ahead and finish the book if I wanted to, because I'm grown now.
That's true.
But I won't.
But it would fuck you up.
I will read these 2 chapters and then I'll put the book away.
Listen, we can't even watch the movie without getting fucked up, evidently. Last week, Roshawn read the wrong chapters, and this week, I read fucking Prisoner of Azkaban because I had it in my head that we finished this book even though we didn't. Although, to be fair, we were supposed to record Dresden today, but because the USPS is pure garbage, we didn't get the book in time. So
not only did we not get the book, but they lied right to our face.
They straight up lied. Oh, I hate them.
Said they delivered it and left me a notice. They didn't leave me no goddamn notice.
Trying to tell me. Listen. So yeah, anyway, welcome to the show, everyone. I'm Natasha.
I'm Roshawn.
And yeah, this episode, we're covering these 2 penultimate chapters. And this will be the penultimate episode of the rereading of Chamber of Secrets, which gives us, so by the time, I'm going to look at my calendar here because I'm trying to figure out where this falls timing wise in relation to the illustrated copy of the next book being released. So the next time we record the finale episode will be the 15th. So that's 2 weeks before the Prisoner of Azkaban Illustrated Edition comes out, which is a shame. But yeah. What are you going to do? Maybe we'll take a week off and just kind of chill and hope. Because
there's no telling how long it'll take to get in the mail.
Evidently. We'll have to have it sent to your work from now on. I'm not messing with your damn home service anymore. All right. So everyone, these chapters are the ones with spiders. And I believe someone warned Roshawn about this.
Yep, shout out to Priscilla. Give me a little heads up. I got a message from her this morning.
That's so cute. I love that she messaged you today.
And she was just like, are you going to read from the illustrated? Because if you do, you're so brave.
Oh, that's so cute.
And I did read from it, from the illustrated copy. And you know what, guys? It's pretty terrible.
I mean, he didn't fuck around with these spider drawings.
The one page, well, it's 2 pages. And you can't even, matter of fact, I'm just going to go ahead and close that.
I'm looking at it right now, trying to even find, no, I don't like this.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's just, yeah. So then if you go past that one real quick, then you get to, I think there's a page with Aragog, which is just one big spider.
Ew.
But it's also pretty fucking terrible.
I hate how many eyes they have. Who designed them?
Who designed them?
So, who can I take this up with? I'd like to lodge a complaint. I'm not even I don't have a problem with spiders. A lot of people, if there's a spider in the room with them, they can't deal with it. I'm fine. For me, I'm spiders are on my side. They're going to eat moths, and I fucking hate moths. So
2 things. One, I don't really, I mean, I don't love them in real life, but I don't get particularly sketched out by spiders either. Like if there's one in the house, you know.
Okay.
I mean, I will kill that bitch. It's not on my side, but, you know, I won't go running from the room. And two, I haven't seen it yet, but I've seen two people on Facebook talk about a giant moth that's going around.
What?
Nikki, well, our friend Nikki posted, she said, fuck you to everybody that's posting that video of that giant fucking moth. So I don't know the details.
Oh, thank you for warning me, though. I'm going to keep an eye out for that.
Right? I do know to be aware that it's just not safe on Facebook right now.
Oh my God. No, thank you. I hate moths so much. Like, I cannot express how they are just the worst.
They really are the worst.
Worst.
I know I'm not going to tell the story again because I already told it, but you know, the one time where there was like a moth in my bra as I was going to put it on and it came fluttering out. And
oh!
It was terrible.
No. Absolutely fucking not. I am fucking Leo DiCaprioing all over this shit. Absolutely fucking not, GIF. Oh.
Yeah, it was horrifying, and I did quite the dance, trying to like extricate myself out of the bra.
Oh God, yeah, nope. Like I would probably just straight up not wear a bra ever again. That's probably what would happen to me. Don't think that's gonna work out for anybody.
Like just that day or forever?
No, that for at least a year, I would say probably. Yeah, no. Don't think so.
Oh.
But as much as I'm not somebody who has a problem with spiders, even I would not be thrilled with this situation. So you know. So what happens here? What are you laughing at?
I just can't wait to start talking shit about Hagrid.
Yeah.
This is all his fault.
He fucking is just like, so, you know, follow the spiders, man, whatever.
If you want to know some stuff.
Some stuff.
How about if you want to be killed? Go follow some spiders.
He just really thinks that they never tried to hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
And I really wonder, like, you know, they were there without Hagrid, but even if Hagrid had been there, do you think that would have changed anything?
I do.
You do?
I do. I don't think it would have changed the instinct to be like, well, Hagrid is fine, but the kids are food. But I think all Hagrid would have had to do was be like, no, absolutely not. And Aragog would have been like, okay, all right, you're right, you're right, you're right. I lost my head there for a second.
Oh, I love that so much. All right. Yeah. Okay. No, you're right. Fair. All right. Cause I was kind of like a little bit in doubt, you know, Hagrid is not to be trusted in terms of like how an animal is going to react. And so I don't really have that kind of faith, frankly, about his influence over them, even if he were there. Right. I think you're probably right, but I'm not 100%. And I wouldn't be at all surprised if it turned out that no, we're not. That's not how this works.
Because I could see, because Hagrid, because the way it would have to play is Aragog would be like, Hagrid, you can leave, but they're staying with me. And then Hagrid is like, absolutely not. You'll have to kill me too. And I guess Aragog could be like, all right, if that's what you want. But somehow I feel like that it wouldn't work that way.
That's what you want.
You know what I mean? It's really struck me during the reread how what is on the surface and even at its heart a really good quality of Hagrid's. This seeing the good in things that maybe don't 100% deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
Has become such a huge defining part of him that is just awful. Like, it's this really good natured sort of generosity of spirit that he has.
Mm-hmm.
But it just makes you go, oh, for fuck's sake, Hagrid.
Yeah, I mean, it's
like,
sort of, this is something that, like, I'm not going to say that I get, like, a little, I don't even want to use the word salty, even though that's probably fair. But, like, I get a bit of a way when people talk about, well, you know, everybody says that Albus Dumbledore forgives too easily, or is, like, always trying to see the good in people to a fault. And that is always borne out. Like, I don't feel like he is really wrong about that with anybody in the end, even though it looks for a while like he is. Mm-hmm. But with Hagrid, that same personality trait, just as much as, like, people, like, they do talk about it and acknowledge it and say it's a good thing, it's not celebrated with him the same way, because, you know, he's wrong sometimes, which is something that I just find to be not, it's just not quite as fair. You know, it's like somebody who gets called brave when they do something fucking idiotic, but if you fuck it up, then you're an idiot. And Hagrid just winds up, like, being an idiot, whereas Dumbs just gets called brave all the time because he just happens to usually be right. So I feel a little bit bad because sometimes I give Dumbledore credit for something that Hagrid also does. It just happens that, you know, Hagrid tends to maybe just not have as good of judgment. I don't really know exactly what it comes down to. He's also dealing with animals instead of people.
That's exactly what I was going to mention. Like, it's just, you know, Hagrid's faith in the extension of the benefit of the doubt is almost solely, well, not solely, because he speaks up for some teachers a lot of times too, but primarily it's with the animals, and usually what people would consider like monsters, not just regular, because he just can't have regular animals.
Right.
So it's always a fucking giant spider or a dragon or fucking basilisk, or, you know. Yep. Like, he's never. You don't have these problems with Fang.
That's fair. True.
But, like, if I was gonna say, what would the equivalent be if someone was like Hagrid, but only extended the benefit of the doubt to humans? But before I could ask, you kind of answered it, because it's Dumbledore. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, so I guess that is all it is. It's just that Hagrid is dealing with animals, which I guess are inherently less predictable. Mm-hmm. I guess.
Yeah. It's funny, too, because you can never really know a person's motives, right? Not 100%, but you can kind of trick yourself into thinking you know it.
That's true.
And then, but based on how good your judgment is, you can get pretty close, which I think is really what happens with Dumbledore.
Yeah.
But with animals, you can't. You just can't know.
Yeah.
And you can't even get close.
Yeah, I think that's fair. All right. So they don't immediately, like, you know what he meant by this statement, and so they continue living life. Harry is really perturbed about the fact that Dumbledore isn't here, and continuously thinks about the I will never truly have left this school, what he said. And fucking Draco. I always thought Father might be the one who got rid of Dumbledore. I told you, he thinks Dumbledore's the worst headmaster the school's ever had. Maybe we'll get a decent headmaster now. Someone who won't want the Chamber of Secrets closed. McGonagall won't last long. She's only filling in. And then, of course, Sir, to Snape, Sir, why don't you apply for the headmaster's job? Oh. Now, Malfoy, said Snape, though he couldn't suppress a thin-lipped smile. Professor Dumbledore has only been suspended by the governors. I dare say he'll be back with us soon enough. Oh, Draco, you're so annoying and disgusting. Yeah, right. I expect you'd have Father's vote, sir, if you wanted to apply for the job. I'll tell Father you're the best teacher here, sir. You know, just get a room, guys. Seriously.
Yeah, it's a bit much here. And thanks to those, My Life as a Background Slytherin comments. I just see Snape bouncing all over the place now.
That
and
is
when it
so
says
great.
that, the next line is that he swept off around the dungeon.
Oh, that is a very good point. I like it.
But then Malfoy, because he hasn't been gross enough in the previous paragraphs, he has to put the icing on the fucking cake.
Yeah.
With his, the next one dies. Pity it wasn't Granger.
Oh, he's so gross. Yep. And then Ron almost jumps on him. I'm going to kill him with my bare hands. I don't even need my wand. Which I'm kind of respecting him for a little bit. But Snape, it turns out, has to escort them all to the next class because of this this emergency that's happening. So he has to pipe down a little bit. And in herbology, they're working with Abyssinian shrivel figs, which sounds like something that unfortunate that happens to gentlemen who are too cold.
It really, really it really does.
Oh. And Ernie apologizes to Harry here because he really thinks that Harry, no matter whether you're the heir of Slytherin or not, you wouldn't have attacked Hermione. Which is just such a I guess. Yeah. So let's see. What's next? Do you think it's Malfoy? And Ernie's like, so he's, said that he's not going to, he doesn't believe it's Harry, but he's still trying to do the fucking stirring up drama and gossip type thing, which I'm just kind of like, hey, Ernie, you know what, buddy?
Yeah.
Just kind of pipe down, stop it. I really side-eye somebody who they did something damaging to you personally, and they think that they can keep doing that thing as long as it's not at you right after making up with you. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's not how this works.
Yeah.
You can't.
And then they expect you to jump on board with them.
Right.
And join in as they go after the next victim or whatever. Yeah. No.
Right.
No, thank you. I think Ron's being all super sarcastic too.
Oh my God.
That's clever of you.
Ron is on board with me. Thank you, Ron. So this is when they start to notice the spiders heading for the Forbidden Forest. And Ron is trying to act like it's no big deal.
Ron is all of us.
Right. But they decide that they're going to have to come back with the invisibility cloak. Meanwhile, Lockhart is effervescent because he really thinks that they have caught the man who did the terrible thing of opening the Chamber of Secrets, Mr. Rubius Hagrid.
Yeah,
which I'm just
of course he's suspected all along.
Right. And I really love how, despite Hagrid being arrested because Fudge wants to look like he's doing anything, nobody is fooled by this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody there is just no, come on. No, we know it's not him. Give me a break. My dear young man, the Minister of Magic wouldn't have taken Hagrid if he hadn't been 100% sure he was guilty. Oh, God. So at this point, this solidifies Ron's resolve to go and investigate the spiders because their friend is being slandered, basically.
He is so irritated with Lockhart.
Yep.
That it's just the push he needs.
Trying to find the next. All right, so they have to dodge all the teachers on their way out, and we might get to the forest and find there's nothing to follow. The spiders might not have been going there at all. I know it looked like they were moving in that sort of general direction, but sadly, not so. And they find them, follow them. Fang is with them, adorably. Mm-hmm. And they hear some sound, and Fang starts barking. And all of a sudden, there's this bright blaze of light, and it's Mr. Weasley's car. It's gone wild. Surprise! I forgot all about this. I'm not even going to lie to you. I won't even say, like, I knew it saved them from the spiders. No, I just remembered them, like, getting away somehow. Right. You know, like, probably by the skin of their teeth, just by running. But I forgot that, like, Harry gets injured. Like, he gets dropped on his leg. He can't run. It's pretty... doesn't he get venom in him, too, or something? Like... something like
somebody
that.
does. I can't remember if it's Harry or if it's Ron.
So yeah, I'm trying to see where the next page is, the one with the double 2-page illustration of spiders, going right past that.
And just go right past that to the slightly less terrifying page with just
he realized they had reached the rim of a vast hollow, a hollow which had been cleared of trees so that the stars shone brightly onto the worst scene he had ever clapped eyes upon. Spiders. Not tiny spiders like those surging over the leaves below. Spiders the size of cart horses, 8-eyed, 8-legged, black, hairy, gigantic. The massive specimen that was carrying Harry made its way down the steep slope toward a misty domed web in the very center of the hollow, while its fellows closed in all around it, clicking their pincers excitedly at the sight of its load. Yeah.
Also, too, when they talk, like, I don't know, it says they just move their pincers while they're talking.
Yeah, that's like accompanying their words. And that
either
it
way,
makes Harry sick.
Oh, it's the worst, man. It's the worst.
Yep.
Oh. You know, I didn't like that big spider in fucking the Lord of the Rings movie either.
Yeah, I really could do without big spiders in most fantasy. Like,
why are there always giant spiders in these books?
They love to bring this shit up. Love it. There have been other things I've read that have other large, what do you call them? Insects also, like, I guess they're not, are they insects? They're arachnids. Are arachnids insects? I don't remember how it goes. But giant bumblebees and things like that just doesn't hold the same kind of, like, terror
it
for
really
me,
doesn't.
You know? Although a huge cockroach would be
I was
going
to say the same fucking thing. That's exactly what I was about to say.
When you started to say although, I was like, is she going to say... And I was like, nah.
That is fucking exactly what I was about to say.
I love that so much. Yay. Yeah, so a cockroach. You know what other one is gross when it's like blown up? Are ticks.
Yeah, well, they're kind of like spiders, though.
They're like, there's something about the shape of their legs having those spikes on the like back.
Oh, that's true.
That makes them look so much grosser. Like, yeah, I don't know. Spiders, I'm not that I like how they look, but there's something that I think like being hairy sort of softens them for me a tiny bit. But cockroaches and ticks being as spiky and shiny as they are.
Oh, God,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
There's a meme that goes around that's like everybody's a gangster until one of these starts to fly. It's a picture of a roach.
What? You get a fucking blowtorch is what you do.
Sorry, guys.
Right? So this is when Harry gets to question it. And they confirm that they are not the ones that attacked a student, but they are aware of what's attacking students, and they won't say what it is.
My God, when they first present Harry and Ron, and I guess Fang too, to him, and he's like, "Meh,
right?
It's not Hagrid. Kill him. I was sleeping."
Cannot be bothered.
You really can't.
Don't you ever want to just do that though? And you like the doorbell rings and you're taking a nap and it's somebody who's like, I can get you a better price on your gas bill. I will literally murder you right now in front of my front door and leave your blood soaking into my welcome mat, you son of a bitch.
That mat was a lie.
The next guy comes up. Does that welcome mat look? No, that's just paint. So it really looks like they're about to die. They're about to get ate. And the car comes thundering out, crashes into the spiders and knocks them aside. Ron grabs Fang and throws him into the back of the car. They get in and it drives away, just barely able to get out of there in time. And poor Ron can't even talk.
Oh my God.
He's in a bad way.
Yeah. And you know what? He is having a completely appropriate reaction.
Mm-hmm.
And when he finally does talk, I think the first thing he wants to say is, I'm going to fucking kill Hagrid or I'll never forgive him. Which he's right to feel this way.
Yep. Yeah.
And you know, Hagrid is just like, oh, they never would have hurt you.
Oh my God.
But clearly they almost murdered him.
Right? I bet he thought Aragog wouldn't hurt friends of his, said Harry. That's exactly Hagrid's problem, said Ron, thumping the wall of the cabin. He always thinks monsters aren't as bad as they're made out, and look where it's got him, a cell in Azkaban. What was the point of sending us in there? What have we found out? That Hagrid never opened the Chamber of Secrets, said Harry. That he was innocent, and Ron gave a loud snort. Evidently hatching Aragog in a cupboard wasn't his idea of being innocent.
Ron wants to talk about the gray area.
Oh God.
And Harry doesn't seem really traumatized or shook or anything.
No, it's not the same for him at all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, guys. I mean, I know he's got a destiny and all, but
mm-hmm.
I don't know.
He's dealing with it a little too well. I agree with you on that.
I guess he's supposed to be, or we're supposed to feel through him such relief because this is confirmation that Hagrid didn't do it. But I feel like he could have felt both of those things.
Right, yeah, agreed. And he's just laying in bed like he can't sleep. Ron somehow, despite him being the more frightened one, is the one who does fall asleep. And this is when Harry realizes Aragog said that the girl who died was found in a bathroom. What if she never left the bathroom? What if she's still there? You don't think, not moaning Myrtle. Surprise, surprise.
It's all coming together.
All right, so the Chamber of Secrets, what the fuck is that skull? That's at the top of this page.
That's an excellent question.
Because that shit looks like the alien.
It really does.
Is this supposed to be a snake skull?
I think that's exactly what it's supposed to be. Like, it's weird because it's facing... The snakes don't have teeth, though. Are those teeth?
I think they're supposed to... Snakes have fangs? What do you mean they don't have teeth?
No, but this is like a full set of teeth, though. Don't they just have fangs?
Oh, in the middle there. I don't know.
Maybe I'm looking at this wrong.
I'm like looking Transfiguration.
Because now it looks like an old man. I think I really went off base here.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm like looking, trying to find if there's something that I missed in the...
Because what it's set in or what it's overlaid on is like supposed to be like snakeskin, right?
That's what it looks like to me.
So.
But it could be like cobblestones. But it's greenish. I think it's snakeskin.
Yeah, I can't. I'm seeing like everything but what it's supposed to be now. Now I see a whale. It's like those things, those pictures that you stare at too long.
Right, yeah, and it's like looking at the same word over and over again. Yeah, I'm trying to find, there's all kinds of like tendrils on the next page that look like octopus tendrils. So I'm like, is it related to that? I'm not sure.
Oh, I thought that was supposed to be like the shed, you know.
Oh, like the plants? Oh, that didn't even occur to me. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, anyway.
It keeps going on though.
Yeah, maybe it is supposed to be like the mandrakes growing.
I thought it was like the skin, like the snake skin after it's shed. Because then finally we get to like towards when the pages are black and we get to a part where they're in the tunnel.
Page 224 is black and there's like the silhouette of the school.
And
but it goes past that. Oh yeah, okay, I see. Maybe. It doesn't really look like that though.
It doesn't, but that's like the only thing I can think that it's tied to. They're just these weird little tendrils.
Sorry guys, I'm sure this is riveting audio.
Oh yeah, that's right. You don't really give a fuck about any of this, do you?
So Ginny comes and sits down and she looks weird, like she's going to try and say something. And she's just on the edge. And Percy Weasley sits down. And it's like him being there just completely shakes it out of her. She can't do it. And Ron's like, she was just about to tell us something. And Percy seems to think that it's him. It's about him. Which is, of course he would, because he is that fucking self-absorbed. It's nothing. I'd just rather, what were you doing, Percy? Said Ron. Go on, tell us. We won't laugh. Percy didn't smile back. Pass me those rolls, Harry. I'm starving. So, despite the fact that they announced at dinner that they're going to be able to harvest the mandrakes, aka brutally murder and eviscerate living creatures, and feed their blood to revive them.
Right, that's not dark at all.
Right,
there's nothing unseemly about that. What a weird thing.
I know. I'm thinking there was a listener who was like, well, maybe they just, take like blood donations, like, give them a little cup of juice and a cookie after.
I mean,
I was like, that'd be fine.
Grow these things that appear to be sentient, but they really did just create them to kill them.
They moved into each other's pots. They have families.
Yeah.
This is fucked up, guys. That's my wife! Oh my god.
Oh. I feel like I made a Star Trek joke about that last time we talked about the mandrakes.
I feel like you did and I didn't get it.
Hogwarts needs like a prime directive to protect these types of beings.
Yeah, it's kind of like I don't know. I just wish that there was a little bit of clarification on this. That's all. I feel like that would have been a good thing for JK to do.
To include. I feel like Professor Sprout is not the type of professor to do something terrible and evil, right?
I mean, she doesn't seem like it, but how many people seem like it?
If we have to trust that it's well researched, then is she?
It's the banality of evil. I'm sorry. I take it all back.
Now I'm wondering how come Hermione didn't have like little pins made up.
Oh,
She tried to
God.
save the house elves, but she didn't give a fuck about those mandrakes after they saved her life.
Oh, shit. Commentary. Okay. So let's see. They're deciding that they're going to go and talk to Moaning Myrtle anyway, despite everything.
Yeah, despite just waiting one day to let everybody wake up and just get the fucking answers you need.
And they're on their way there, and they pass fucking Lockhart. Mark my words, the first words out of those poor petrified people's mouths will be, "It was Hagrid." Frankly, I'm astounded Professor McGonagall thinks all these security measures are necessary. And that's the perfect opening for them to be like, "You're right, sir. They're not necessary. You know what? In fact, we can just take ourselves home.
Right?
You don't need to do this."
Oh
and this
God.
fucking idiot falls for it.
He can't wait to be running off to do his hair. Which is pretty much what Ron says.
I hate this guy so much.
He just,
Prepare his class. Gonna curl his hair more like. Yep. And Professor McGonagall appears here and is just like, "Hey, the fuck? You're supposed to be going to..." And they're like, yeah, everything's fine. And they managed to come up with this lie that they're going to go see Hermione and tell her the mandrakes are nearly ready for the slaughter and not to worry. And Professor McGonagall gets all teary-eyed. Of course, I realize this has all been hardest on the friends of those who have been... I quite understand. Of course. Oh my God, bless them. So... they go and see her after all, because they have to now, because it would look weird if they didn't head in that direction. And luckily, they do, because Hermione has a little piece of paper lodged in her hand that they didn't notice before.
No one's noticed.
A page torn from a library book. If we're going to talk about out of character shit, listen to me.
Yeah.
I understand that this had to happen for the book. I get it. But we know Hermione. She would be more likely to rip her own arm off than to rip a page out of a book, never mind out of a library book. Madame Pince would kill her on sight. Forget it. But anyway, of the many fearsome beasts and monsters that roam our land, there is none more curious or more deadly than the basilisk, known also as the king of serpents. This snake, which may reach gigantic size and lives many hundreds of years, is born from a chicken's egg hatched beneath a toad. Its methods of killing are most wondrous, for aside from its deadly and venomous fangs, the basilisk has a murderous stare, and all who are fixed with the beam of its eye shall suffer instant death. Spiders flee before the basilisk, for it is their mortal enemy, and the basilisk flees only from the crowing of the rooster, which is fatal to it. And then under that, she wrote, pipes. So, yeah. He's like, oh, shit, that's what it is. And he figures out about how every time somebody has seen the basilisk, it has been filtered through something.
Yeah, this is pretty impressive.
Right?
I mean, this is some Hermione level.
Honestly, it is. Because, like, I was reading this the first time I ever read this book and was like, wait, what? And once he starts explaining it, I'm like, oh, okay. But it still kind of felt like, I guess, you know.
I guess really she did do most of the work, though, with having the mirror.
That's true.
You know, kind of pointed him in that direction. 1 of Miles, half a point.
Okay, so then Harry figures out the pipes thing and that it's traveling that way, and they realize that the entrance is probably in Moaning Myrtle's bathroom, and they decide that they're going to go to the staff room and tell somebody. And as they're on their way there is an announcement, and they're caught in the middle of the hallway, and they jump into a wardrobe to hide because they're not going back to their dorm, God knows. And from there, they overhear the teachers say that it was Ginny Weasley who was taken.
This was especially frustrating for me on the reread because I am always talking about why don't they just go and tell a responsible grown-up something. And this is one of the times where they're literally on their way to do just that, but they get sidelined.
That's a good point. Maybe it's because it's Ginny. Maybe that changes it for them.
Oh, yeah, of course. I'm not.
But like, I would feel like that would be, and you know, thinking of it as a kid with a kid brain, if it were something that involved my sister, I feel like I'd be even more apt to go to an adult.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, it's a toss up between feeling like because it's Jenny, that makes it more urgent and makes them want to go and solve it on their own even more. Versus because it's Jenny, that means it's really fucking serious and I don't want to fuck around and we need all the help we can get. So I should probably go tell an adult.
Right.
You know, I guess in the spirit of the books, of course, it has to be the way it is. But I think you're right. Like, I hate to say in real life, but in real life, when the stakes are that high, you know,
right,
you want all the help you can get.
Yeah.
You don't want just you and your best friend who's also only 12 trying to go solve this fucking problem.
I'm wondering too if like, so Ginny kind of changes the thing for them. Does like hearing them send off Lockhart change anything for them? I really like kind of hope it doesn't, but
that's weird because wait, what do you mean like change like makes them think that the adults don't know what the fuck they're doing?
Yeah, maybe, or that they're not. I guess not that they're not taking it seriously because the instant that Lockhart's out the door, they're all just like, now that he's out of the fucking way.
But they, you know what? Do they hear the teachers after they send Lockhart? Let me just look real quick. So they get rid of Lockhart, and then the teachers don't make a plan to really try to save Jenny, though.
No, they don't. They just like, he finally leaves, and then Professor McGonagall says, right, that's got him out from under our feet. The heads of houses should go and inform their students what's happened. Tell them the Hogwarts Express will take them home first thing tomorrow.
Yeah. So it sounds like the plan for the teachers really is just about getting the students out of school.
Okay.
So maybe they think no one else is really going to do it.
Okay. I guess that makes sense.
But why would they believe that the teachers wouldn't try to save her? Just because, I don't know. I don't want to get too bogged down. I understand that they didn't hear an actual plan, but could they really, Ron and Harry, really believe the teachers would just be like, all right, school's closed, right, and that's a wrap. She's down there, and that's just how it is now.
Yeah, now that you point this out, this really doesn't make a lot of sense here. Agreed.
I'm sorry, guys.
I don't think there's any need for you to
pull on
apologize.
That thread and undo the entire sweater.
It's just like, it is kind of a, you know, like I never really stopped to think before about the fact that they had been on their way to tell someone. I always kind of felt like, imagined it, that they were just going to go see Moaning Myrtle. But yeah, what are we going to do? Let's go straight to McGonagall. She'll be in the staff room in 10 minutes. It's nearly break. So if that was just the thing that had been changed here, if the story was written so that they weren't going to go see the staff and they had been heading to Moaning Myrtle instead, then this would make a lot more sense because they hadn't been intending to get adults involved in the first place. But the fact that they were really just makes the whole decision kind of baffling. Yeah.
And then we know throughout the entire book that they know that Lockhart is full of shit, or at least they really suspect that he's full of shit.
Yeah.
And then they rush to him, and it sounds like they really believe that he is going to be able to rescue Jenny and that they need to help him do that.
Mm-hmm.
But why would they have that expectation of him? That is also curious to me.
Yeah, I mean, they know he's incompetent.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. That's fair. All right, everybody. So, I know that you all want to tell me something, so tell me. What's your headcanon for this?
But I will say, if they don't make these choices, we don't get that fantastic scene in Lockhart's room.
That's true.
Where they tell him just how terrible he is.
Oh, you know what? I'm reading this. Okay, so the teachers dismiss fucking Gilderoy.
Mm-hmm.
They make a plan that they're going to just focus on getting the students out of here. And then the next line, it was probably the worst day of Harry's entire life. He, Ron, Fred, and George sat together in a corner of the Gryffindor common room, unable to say anything to each other. Percy wasn't there. He'd gone to send an owl to Mr. and Mrs. Weasley, then shut himself up in his dormitory. No afternoon ever lasted as long as that one. So they take a long time to decide what to do next.
Okay.
So this makes even less sense. They have the information about probably it being from her bathroom, and they just sit on it for hours?
Yeah. And then that's when they decide. That's the big decision. We should go see Lockhart.
Yeah.
Not we should go back and see the teachers and tell them what we figured out.
Yeah.
We should go see Lockhart.
Ron's like, he's going to try and get into the chamber. We can tell him where we think it is. Which I'm like, yeah, that doesn't make sense that they think he's a total fraud. It's not even necessary that but like, that's not the person they would go to with this.
It does say that Harry couldn't think of anything else to do, but
he should have, because that was not their original plan.
And maybe because Dumbledore is not there, maybe his absence is no. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. This doesn't work. And I just didn't notice that it doesn't work the first time. There's a bug on me. No, after seeing all the spider pictures, there was a bug on me, and I hated it. Oh, I felt it crawling.
Oh, that was unnecessary.
Oh, okay. So they walked in to his office, and Lockhart is packing.
And they are shocked.
Yeah. You can't go now with all this dark stuff going on.
God, such a good line.
Oh my God. When I took this job, nothing in the job description. I didn't expect. You mean you're running away? Said Harry disbelievingly. After all that stuff you did in your books? Books can be misleading, said Lockhart delicately.
Yeah, see, this, I wish that Harry wasn't so shocked. Mm-hmm. There was just a little bit more of, I fucking knew you were full of shit.
Yeah. They flat out have Ron say the things he says he's done in an earlier chapter. Yeah.
And then, but here it's like, but you said in your book. But,
Yeah.
So we get details of how not just is he full of shit, but he's been appropriating other people.
Yeah, he has.
Fucking accomplishments and putting some kind of spell on them to take their memory from them.
Yeah, and he's particularly proud of those memory charms.
Yeah.
And yeah, he says, awfully sorry, boys, but I'll have to put a memory charm on you now. Can't have you blabbing my secret all over the place. And Harry Expelliarmus him. And it's like, oh, what now, bitch? Bet you didn't wish that you taught us that one. Which is pretty good.
You know that, what is that expression that you can never really use in real life? It's like, hoisted on his own petard.
Yes, exactly. Yep. And they march Lockhart into the bathroom, ask Myrtle how she died. Myrtle's whole aspect changed at once. She looked as though she had never been asked such a flattering question. Oh, it was dreadful, she said with a relish. It happened right here. I died in this very cubicle. I remember it so well. I had hidden because Olive Hornby was teasing me about my glasses. The door was locked and I was crying, and then I heard somebody come in. They said something funny. A different language, I think it must have been. Anyway, what really got me was that it was a boy speaking. So I unlocked the door to tell him to go use his own toilet, and then... Myrtle swelled importantly, her face shining. I died. How? Said Harry. No idea, said Myrtle in hushed tones. I just remember seeing a pair of great big yellow eyes. My whole body sort of seized up, and then I was floating away. And then I came back again. I was determined to haunt Olive Hornby, you see. Oh, she was sorry she'd ever laughed at my glasses. That's fucked up.
I feel like this might be a little too morbid.
Bring it on.
But
please continue.
I feel like if the afterlife is such a thing, I hope I enjoy my death this month. Right? I hope it's a story I want to sit around and tell over and over.
Oh, that's funny. Maybe I'll get a near-death experience.
That's for suckers.
Oh my God. Nearly headless Nick, nearly deadless Roshawn. So Harry figures out about the tap opening, and there's a snake engraved on one of the handles, and he uses parcel tongue to make it open and goes down there, and they fucking shove Lockhart down there first.
Oh, so good.
And he slides down this pipe that's all slimy and gross, which is a marked difference from the movie, in which it's a dry slide. Like it's a dry stone slide. But here it's an actual pipe that works and is covered in slime. Ew. And just as he started to worry about what would happen when he hit the ground, the pipe leveled out and he shot out of the end with a wet thud, landing on the damp floor of a dark stone tunnel large enough to stand in. And they're looking for their wands, which they dropped in the flight down, and Gilderoy grabs one and holds them hostage. Unfortunately, he's got Ron's wand. And, well, fortunately for us, unfortunately for him, but fortunately for literally everyone else, he tries to be like, I'll just tell them that you lost your minds at the sight of her mangled body, which is really something that he's that certain that she's dead.
Yeah. Because
what happens if you tell them that and then they go down here and she's not dead? What then?
Yeah, I mean, he clearly hasn't thought that far.
No.
But I'm sure it would just be for him a matter of just doing another Obliviate spell.
Maybe.
But yeah, he's not thinking that far. And he's awfully callous and, her mangled body. You're talking to her brother.
Mm-hmm.
And for fuck's sake.
Yeah, he's a shitbag. Obliviate! The wand exploded with the force of a small bomb. Harry flung his arms over his head and ran, slipping over the coils of snakeskin, out of the way of great chunks of tunnel ceiling which were thundering to the floor. Next moment he was standing alone, gazing at a solid wall of broken rock. So they're blocked in, and Harry's the only one that can continue on. They are going to have to turn around and go back for help.
Now they go back for help.
Right? Yeah. Okay, sure.
But yeah, so
And
basically we end up with Harry just having to face whatever's down there alone. Again.
yeah, he gets to these, so let's see, I'm trying to find, the tunnel turned and turned again. Every nerve in Harry's body was tingling unpleasantly. He wanted the tunnel to end, yet dreaded what he'd find when it did. And then at last, as he crept around yet another bend, he saw a solid wall ahead, on which 2 entwined serpents were carved, their eyes set with great glinting emeralds. Harry approached, his throat very dry. There was no need to pretend these stone snakes were real. Their eyes looked strangely alive. He could guess what he had to do. He cleared his throat, and the emerald eyes seemed to flicker. "Open," Harry said in a faint hiss. The serpents parted as the wall cracked open. The halves slid smoothly out of sight, and Harry, shaking from head to foot, walked inside.
Yeah. So let's make sure we give Ron a little bit of credit because he's the one who figured out that Harry needed to talk in Parseltongue in the bathroom.
That's true.
Get the cap up. And so let's make sure we give him a little shine.
Good call. Yeah, I'm really bothered now that we've pinpointed how little their decisions make sense here. Because all it comes down to is that JK wanted them to be there to hear that Gilderoy was going to be the one sent down. So she had them hide even though they had found exactly who they were looking for. And then she wants them to get Gilderoy's help even though they had been going to look for McGonagall. And Gilderoy, in that moment that they saw him, clearly isn't ready to face this thing. So shouldn't be the person that they go to. This is full of holes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have, but see, if she had done it another way, if they had gone to McGonagall, then that means that Lockhart would have been able to, vanish in the wind, and we wouldn't have gotten that comeuppance. However, you know what? I don't know if I would have been okay with that because he still would have had a reputation as a coward, even if he hadn't been, outed as a fraud. But
that's true.
I guess there was no way to, unless of course once they told McGonagall, then she marches over to Lockhart's room. But why would she fuck around with him? She knows he's bullshit. Sorry,
say that again. You kind of went away.
I was going to say if they had gone to McGonagall afterwards, then if JK really wanted to have this whole thing with Lockhart, then McGonagall could have marched to Lockhart's room and dragged down there.
Yeah.
But then as soon as I said that, I said, why would McGonagall even bother? Why would she waste time grabbing Lockhart? Because she also knows he's useless.
Yeah.
Jenny's down there. No one is going to waste precious time, chasing after Lockhart. But then you mentioned that they sit in the common room for hours.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That changes the whole sense of urgency, about needing to get down there right away to save Jenny.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. I don't know.
Full of holes.
Yeah, I don't want to say it, but I'll let you say it.
Yeah, all right. Well, yeah, I'm interested to hear what y'all have to say about that because, we have all talked about these books ad nauseum many, many times, and I don't feel like this has really come up, this particular, plot holes, plural. So I'd be really interested to hear what y'all have to say about that because not just on this podcast either, but I've looked into a lot of stuff about the different books and had plot holes pointed out to me that I never noticed. And this isn't one of them. This is not something that I ever saw. So I'm kind of surprised by that. I feel like this is something that most people would have latched onto at some point.
Unless we're missing something huge.
Yeah, So I feel like we must be, but I'm also maybe I'm just giving her too much credit. I don't know.
Yeah. With the reread, it's not so much about recapping every sentence as it is just kind of an overview and thinking about things we didn't get a chance to talk about. So maybe there's something really simple that but
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. I'm curious too.
All right. Well, I want to say hi to new patrons and a couple of donors. Give everybody an update on this. Most recent donors are Amber Raff, Linda Dunyan, Brett Greer, Trisha O, and Jordan Gimori. All donated over these past few days. It hasn't been quite a week since the last episode, but nevertheless, thank you guys so much. We are at $2,610. So we are $490 away from the $3,000 goal, and I'm pretty confident we're going to hit that. And I have sent everybody who has donated so far, they have all gotten the links to the Dropbox folder with the first episode in it of me and Roshawn talking about movies 1 through 3. So that's super fun. And movies 4 through 6, we're going to be recording at the very end of this month. I think on the actual last day of September is the recording date. But this coming Saturday, patrons, in the patrons only Facebook group, Roshawn and I are going to be live commenting on a thread about the fourth movie, Goblet of Fire, which is in design, it is some of my favorite stuff, and in plot is a lot of the worst stuff, a lot of the things that make me the most angry out of all the movies. So if you are a patron and you just want to kind of watch us in real time, absorb what is on the screen in front of us, go have brunch, be home by 1 Central Time, join us on Facebook, turn on your tellies, watch it with us, and get up on the group and join on the thread. And I think that'll be really fun. And I'm really excited to see Roshawn get angry. So that's what's going on there. And new perk, which I'm excited about. I was trying to think of something that would be an extra for $20 and up patrons, because I had previously had it be like a weekly lunch date, but nobody was coming to those. And so it was taking a pretty good chunk of time for me to set it up and do it, but nobody was showing up. So I sort of stopped doing it, but I didn't know what to replace it with. And Roshawn and I were talking, and we decided that what we're going to do is bi-weekly, twice a month, we are going to do our Harry Potter Friday recordings live. So if you are $20 and up, you will have 2 opportunities per month to hang out with Roshawn and I live on Friday nights while we talk about Harry Potter. I think that's pretty rad. So if you are on the fence about becoming a patron, but you really want to chill and talk with us and talk about Harry Potter and contribute your opinions on things, that's what you should do, is become a $20 or up patron. And you go to patreon.com/unspoiled to do it. I'm excited about it because it's the first time I'm offering something like this. The cocktail hours are for $3 and up patrons, and those are once a month, but they're not structured. They're not an actual show. It's just me and whoever can show up. Owen is often there. Roshawn comes sometimes. Chris comes sometimes. It's always different. And it's not like I don't post it as a podcast. It's just for us. So this is a very different thing. And we had a lot of issues in the past with connection and stuff, but it looks like that's gotten resolved. The last time I did this with Roshawn, it went much better. And I am now directly connected via cable to the internet, so I'm not on Wi-Fi. So hopefully this will be smoother. But just keep in mind, everybody, that this is a new thing that we aren't really used to doing as often as we are. So we may run into some technical difficulties, and please bear with us. And yeah, I think that's all I wanted to mention on that. And reminder to everybody to check out Akio Box. We did our unboxing, which I posted in the previous episode. And they are almost out of Halloween boxes. They're having an October box and a separate Halloween box, which is $10 less. And I think there are only like 10 left of them or something. You cannot use the unspoiled code for the Halloween box. You can only use it for the monthly October box. Nevertheless, they are a cool company and you should support them even if you can't use our code.
And the October box is cheaper, right?
No, the Halloween box is cheaper.
That's what I meant. I mean, the Halloween box is cheaper.
Yeah.
But that's probably why you can't use the code.
I think that is why.
You're already getting a deal on it, so.
Yeah, I think it's cheaper because it doesn't have as many items in it as the October one does. But it's a nice, like, teaser if you're interested in checking them out and not committing necessarily. So, yeah, y'all should check them out, akiobox.com, and use, if you are doing the monthly one, code UNSPOILED to get 10% off your first 3 boxes. And they are just great. And I didn't anticipate how not only they have all of the items in the box, which were adorable, and I loved everything. I just wore my Don't Let the Muggles Get You Down shirt out walking the other day. And I went to the store and somebody was like, nice shirt. But I also really liked that they enclosed this little pamphlet that tells you exactly what store everything is from. So you can go and find the seller on Etsy or wherever that made the items that you liked and get other items from them. Yeah. So that's pretty cool because the people who did the Ford Anglia pin also make a Night Bus pin. That's kind of rad that I sort of want maybe. So yeah, akiobox.com, code unspoiled for 10% off. And I really feel like I'm forgetting something that I wanted to announce. I know I'm forgetting something that's going to make me crazy. I'm sorry.
You did donors?
Oh, I know what it is. So I just finished recording the September book club episode with Miles on Rebecca, which will be up by the time this episode goes out for everybody on the Unspoiled Book Club feed. But the October book club is going to be on Stephen King's Bag of Bones. And I'm going to be covering that with Craig and Andrew from Overdue. I'm stoked about it. These two guys, I have grown to love them. I've listened to so many of their shows by this point. I don't listen to that many podcasts, but when I find something that I really love, I listen to it to death, like to the point where I'm just like, why am I doing this to myself? And I am really, really excited to cover Bag of Bones with them. I am not totally sure if either of them has ever read it before or like where they're coming into this from, but I'm just thrilled to be able to have them as guests on the show. And it's going to be like a couple days after my birthday. So I feel like it's like birthday present for me to do this. And it's going to be kicking off October, which is going to be full of spooky stuff. And I will be starting on Spookled in October as well, which is a patrons only spooky story podcast. So there's just like all kinds of good stuff coming up. This is my favorite time of year, guys, like for reals. And if you are a $20 and up patron and you see Roshawn and I live, you will be seeing lots of Halloween decorations in the background in my office. Because that is how I get down.
Yeah, you won't be seeing that in mine, though.
You'll see the no slam dancing sign in the background in Roshan's office. Yeah, I think that's everything. Is there anything you wanted to add, mademoiselle?
No, ma'am.
All right. I cannot hear you. You keep going away.
Oh, I'm going to start plugging the book in the next couple episodes, but I don't have any of that information written down.
Okay, fair. Yeah, and Miles is trying to get me in the next few months on another Smash Fiction, but that has not been ironed out or anything. So I'll let y'all know about that. And I want to let y'all know also that we have reached 295 reviews on iTunes. Nice. Yeah. So we have some really sweet, like, Friendship is Magical. I Am Here for This Ish, which I think I already read. So Glad I Found Natasha and Roshawn. Magic Relived by Wizarding in Vermont. These ladies are the best way to live these books again. And my favorite, 5 stars from the US. We are #blessed. I was trying to get into podcasts and knew that Harry Potter would be a great subject to start with because I have no chill when it comes to this classic series. I stumbled upon Unspoiled and haven't looked back. I subsequently made my best friend start listening with me, and it's been nothing but joy. Natasha and Roshawn are a fantastic balance of in-depth discussion and hilarious commentary as they move through the books. For someone who hasn't read the books in a while, but lost basically my entire collection over the years, this has been an amazing way to revisit the story and remember some of the small moments throughout that get lost over time. Can't wait to listen to more Unspoiled pods. Thank you both. #Snape So Petty. Always appreciate additional hashtags. So yeah, thank you guys so much. 295 reviews is amazing. We have gone far past Song of Ice and Fire at this point, which is at 240. So
Wow.
y'all are amazing, and I love you. So yeah, y'all know where to find us. Facebook.com/unspoiledpod, Twitter at Unspoiled Show. I'm on Instagram at The Glamour Junkie, and the show's on Instagram at Unspoiled Podcast. And I think that's everything. You ready?
Yep.
All right, let's wrap it up. Thank you, everyone, so much for listening. And we will see you next week with the final 2 chapters of Chamber of Secrets. Toodaloo, motherfuckers.
Bye, guys.
Every time.
I was trying to keep a straight face this time.
How'd that go?
Not so well.
That was an Unspoiled Network podcast.